Good day, everybody. This is Brina, and here we are on Wednesday with the midweek motivation. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're joining us live or you're listening a little bit later in the day. I appreciate you taking just about 5 minutes of your day to tune in to listen to today's word. Please be sure to like and share the video. And as always, I would love to hear your comments, would love to hear how the word is impacting your life. So be sure to share that. All right, so today the word comes from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. And reading from the New International Version, it says this. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. So the word for today is run your race. So who among us, how many of you have been in a race before? You've run a race, you've walked in a race like a 5K, 10K, or even a marathon. Put race in the comments if you've done that. I've done 5Ks, and the longest I've done was a 10K. So as you were walking or running in the race, there were probably people around you. Some were faster than you, some were slower than you, but you were walking or running at your pace. And what you were doing was running your own race, not someone else's, but you were running your race. So the writer of Hebrews says that we have a race set before us. Each of us has a race that we are designed and were created to run. I have mine, you have yours. Sometimes we hear the term the Christian race, the life as a believer that we are living is sometimes referred to as a Christian race. And so we each have our own race. God has anointed and appointed us to do our things for the kingdom, the things that he's assigned us to do. So we should focus on our own race and not compare ourselves or our races to other people. And sometimes when we are caught up in comparing ourselves, it traps us. It's a comparison trap, really, because we lose focus, we lose sight on what we are called to do because we're focused on what other people are doing around us. And we may compare ourselves and say, well, her race seems to be better than mine, or mine is better than someone else's. That distracts us. In verse 2 of this passage that we read, it says, we should fix our eyes on Jesus, who's the author and perfecter of our faith. That's where our focus should be as we're running our race, not comparing ourselves to what other people are doing as they run their race. Now, is it okay to kind of glance around and see what other people are doing? Absolutely. We can use people around us who are running their individual races as a source of inspiration. They can keep us motivated and encouraged to keep going when things get a little tough. But ultimately, we need to be fixing our eyes on Jesus, not on other people, so that we can be totally focused and totally committed on what God has for us, what he has called us to do as we are running this Christian race step by step, day by day. It is truly a marathon and not a sprint, and we're taking it one day at a time, focusing on what God has called us to do. So that is the word for today. Run your race. Keep your focus, keep your eyes on Jesus, the one who's given you the race to run, and he will give you the strength and endurance to continue moving forward. So I hope that word encourages you today. If you're feeling a little tired or maybe discouraged, that you hopefully now feel a little bit encouraged that you can continue to run your race. We're not running our races in our own strength, but by the power of the Holy Spirit, we're able to keep going until our race is over and Jesus says, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant."